Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Man. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the iRacing Stock Car Association. Can't talk here. Of course, I wasn't here last week. My name is Brian Britt, but glad to be back here for the penultimate race here in the iRacing Stock Car Association Super Cup Series. We're getting ready to crown a champion next week, but this week is it's almost just as important. We have to figure out who is going to race for a championship. Big Al is in the booth with me, my co-commentator, of course, Kobe Jordan, down behind the cameras as we get ready for the Sugarlands Distilling Co. 313 here at Martinsville Speedway, the infamous paperclip. Big Al, I'm excited about this one, man. I mean, what did I miss last week?
Man, really, I gave you a couple shout-outs. That's how much you were missed. It was great to have you back. I'll say that first and foremost. Man, you missed a great race. We actually thought it was going to be a little bit lighter on the cautions, but it kind of turned out to be not only caution-full, but quite exciting as well. I think the over-under on the cautions was 4. And Brian, a lot of drivers missed an opportunity to actually secure that win, which is going to make tonight's race even more important.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of looked at the point scenario kind of coming into this race before we began the broadcast. And I think let's look at the details of the race, and then we'll kind of look into that, because I think this is going to be something we're going to be really keeping an eye on all race long to see who is going to make it into the Final Four. Of course, this is the Martinsville race here. This is a half-mile racetrack. The paperclip, very much known for a one-groove style racetrack. Bump and runs are very prevalent here. Of course, 313 miles, or should I say, no, 313 laps here tonight. Stages are going to be set here for stage 1 ending at 65 going to 66. Stage 2, 140 going to 141. So some pretty short stages, but we could see some cautions here tonight. I definitely, Martinsville is usually known for having a lot of cautions. I don't know if that's going to be the case here. The ISCA known for being very, very clean racers. So we'll have to wait and see. 7 sets of tires going to be down in the pits. Of course, actually, I should say 6 sets in the pits, 7 altogether. There's 1 set going to be on the race car when they start the race. Of course, fuel window, 155 laps. Pit strategy is going to be an interesting thing tonight. I'm not exactly sure what to expect. We know usually when it comes to short tracks, a lot of times tires, are important, but our track position is more important a lot of times. Most of the time, especially at a track like Martinsville, if you see cautions, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to stay out, just considering how important track position is. As we're watching Tim Wortman Jr., he's one of the guys that absolutely needs to qualify well, and he just hit the wall. So that's not good for Mr. Wortman there. He was trying to get the tires warmed up to kind of get some sort of an advantage here. As you can see, we also see Alexander Carr. Of course, he's not in the playoffs. But let's look at the points right now and see exactly where does everyone stand. Who is going to have a chance to fight for a championship here tonight? Of course, Patrick Gitter, he won just a couple weeks ago, I do believe, at Las Vegas, which, of course, was able to he locked himself in. Very dominant run there at Vegas. Clayton Hoffman last week won at Homestead. And from what everybody told me, he had a pretty, I'd say, dominant performance as well. Of course, Matt DeCiani, he has not locked himself in yet, but he's pretty secure on the points. He's got about I'd say a 54-point buffer right now to the cut line. Of course, Brandon Pasalacqua, he's above the cut line right now in 4th place. He himself, I'd say, is in a little bit of trouble. Maybe not. It just depends on if maybe a driver that is below that cut line wins. That knocks him out of the top 4. So he's going to be one of the ones that we're going to really watch, of course. Brian Johnson, he's another strong driver. He is right now below the cut line. Going to be desperate to try to have a good performance here tonight. And, of course, Abner Acosta, he is well below the cut line. Randy Mullins, we've been seeing him in practice really just trying everything he can to try to get some speed out of the race car. He's been struggling a little bit from what we've seen. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of works out. Could he possibly somehow score the victory here tonight? I think it's possible. Tim Wortman Jr., he's been very fast in practice and as well in qualifying. Right now he holds the outside pole for now. Could he maybe sneak in and get a victory? I mean, we've seen it. Joey Logano in real-life racing just recently, he was like the last place in points and somehow has locked himself into the playoff, the Final 4. Could we see Tim Wortman Jr. do exactly that, Big Al?
Now he's got a tall order ahead of him, Brian. It's definitely indeed possible. However, I must add, he's got the cards stacked against him. This track right here is a very specific track. It's kind of like that paperclip they call it. But if you're either good at this track or you're not, and unfortunately for the guys that are good at this track, they're going to make it hard for the guys that aren't. Extremely difficult to pass as well. We definitely got a lot going on here tonight, man. We'll be watching this thing from both angles.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying to keep an eye on all these guys to see exactly what takes place here tonight. I'm looking at the field just to kind of get apprised of who all the playoff drivers are. I do not see Brian Johnson. I do not see Brian Johnson in the field here tonight. I do not see Abner Acosta. In that case, that does take a little bit of pressure off of drivers like Randy Mullins and Tim Wortman Jr. But, I mean, that is in a little, it might be somewhat of a glimmer of hope for a Mullins and a Wortman. It is, I'd say, disappointing for the four of Brian Johnson to not see him out here. He's fifth in the points, right below that cut line. I mean, it's unfortunate that he's not out here battling to get into the Final Four, as well as Abner Acosta. Abner Acosta, we know he is very good at these braking style tracks. Any track that we see him use a brake, he's usually good at it. But we don't see him in competition here tonight. So that's unfortunate. Maybe he'll last minute show up before qualifying ends. But if not, we won't see them in competition, which is very, very much unfortunate. But right now, we're going to go ahead and take a step away. We'll come right back with, of course, our starting grid. But before that, we're going to play our national anthem and maybe give a word to our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.